So you're asking a question about transitioning to GA4 using a new GA4 code, but also making sure that UA is not also adding information to GA4.
Yes, and so the reason is on this specific website, the business did not go ahead and do their own and add it, and Google went ahead and said, okay, we're setting it up for you, and since you haven't installed the GA4 code, we're going to just use, you know, what's there with Universal. Right. So I'd like to still use that GA4 code because because it's collecting data, so there won't be a break in that. But Google's what I found was very confusing, and I'm not sure how to finish and proceed with that. Let
me ask a couple of real quick questions. Number one, are there 2 GA4 properties or only one?
One.
Okay. And how many codes do you have on the website, JavaScript codes for Google Analytics? When you view source of the page,
let me see.
Or are you running in Tag Manager where you have to log into Tag Manager?
So they do not have Tag Manager. That was going to be something I'm going to set up.
Yeah.
Okay. So so I do that. I view source and I do find what was it that we find?
Well, so you should look for gtag.js, which is the Google Analytics JavaScript code.
Okay. .js. Okay. So it found one.
Okay, and so is there should be
they do have Google. So it says script Google Tag Manager.com. So I'm assuming that means they have Google Tag Manager and they just didn't. No. Okay. Okay.
So next to gtag.js, you will see either a G dash blah 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 or a UA dash blah blah blah.
Okay. So it's not, it just has script sync, but then below there's a GTag config and it's a UA.
It says UA. Okay. UA. So what this is telling me is there's not a GA4 code on the site, because if there were, the ID number would be G dash something, but it's UA dash something. So what they're doing is they're using the latest version of the Google Analytics code, gtag.js. They have it associated with the UA code, which is a Universal Analytics code, and that is filtering into a GA4 account.
Yes.
So you do need to create a new GA4 property.
Okay. So question. So if there already is one, I need to create a new one?
No.
Okay.
No. Okay. So what's happening is UA is sending information into the UA code is sending information into Universal Analytics and to GA4.
Yes.
Okay. So as a best practice, I recommend having a separate GA4 tag on the site.
Yes. That's what I want.
So your intuition was correct. If you do nothing, you're sending data into GA4 twice. Once through UA and once the second code.
Yes.
So you do need to go into the Universal Analytics and disconnect it from the GA4 property.
Okay, so
probably under data streams.
So let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Data, okay, data streams, I see. Okay, so
no, so are you logged in under the UA property, not the GA4?
I'm in the GA4 property.
Don't go there. Go to the UA property, because that's sending data into GA4.
Okay, so go to UA.
It's not under data streams in UA. I'm sorry. I made a mistake.
Oh, here, I'm sorry. I did that, and just so you all know, I have a big timer that comes up. This property will stop processing data July 1st, and it's got a countdown, days, hours, minutes.
Yeah, it's crazy what they're doing.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm sorry. So I'm in Universal.
Right. And so somewhere within Universal, I don't know where it is offhand, is a connector. It's probably in the wizard or maybe in the property settings or the user settings, sorry, not user settings, property settings. There will be a button to say associate this with the GA4 property, you'll want to disconnect that.
Okay, I see. Okay, so
but you want to do that after you install a
after
GA4 code.
Okay, so let me see. So it's in GA4 Setup Assistant, just for you all to know.
There you go.
Okay, so after I want to make sure I get this in the right order. So what I really should do first is need to go into my GA4 now and set up a data stream, and then add that to the website, and then come here and disconnect.
Well, you don't have to set up an additional data stream. You just need to put the code for GA4.
Okay. Okay, let me look at this GA4 go wait thingy. So GA4. I just want to see. Property settings. Okay, I see my data stream. Well, this was okay. I was looking somewhere else and it didn't have a data stream, and that confused me. This is what I'm looking. Okay,
right.
So first I'm going to add this GA4 data stream with the Curious Ants whole thing, like I typically do with SiteKit and all of that, and Google Tag Manager.
Right.
Then I should go to UA and under GA4 Setup Assistant, disconnect the property.
Yes.
Okay.
Now,
this is what I did. Okay.
So there will be, when you use SiteKit, it will try to add the UA code. It might, I should say, because they might. We're a month and a half away from the deadline. They might have changed it. But yeah. So double check everything like we normally do. We look at real time, understand there's a delay, and what I want to make sure is we're not having 2 visits for every visit.
Yes, make sure we're not duplicating. And that was my concern, because I knew that if I simply added it, I was going to have duplicate, which I didn't want. Right. Okay.
So the reason I'm recommending to go ahead and add the GA4 code now is because then we can remove the UA code, and our website's going to last a long time. At some point, Google will stop supporting the UA code. We don't know when. It might be a year from July.
Yeah.
But this way, it's done. We're thinking when it stops collecting in July, we kill it, right?
Yes, that's it. We're thinking about it. I'm in there. I know what I'm doing, so do it now as opposed to wait for a problem to come up.
Exactly. That's why I recommend. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. That helps, because that it was the disk. It was and I'm telling you, Google's instructions were very. I never really specifically found these instructions on Google, because it was like, oh, add a new stream and then delete the old one. I'm like, well, if it's already collecting data, why am I going to stop and do a whole new thing? So maybe I was looking in the wrong place, but anyway.
No,
okay.
I think this is more of an advanced, like,
yes. Yeah.
You could get away not doing the step and just use UA for a while, but you eventually have to change it.
But then, thank you.
Good. It's complicated, but it's a good question. So,
actually, it's an easy answer, though.
Okay, good.
For me,